Welcome back to another episode of the Booktroverts podcast. I'm McKayla.
I'm Meg.
And today we are talking about Gold by Raven Kennedy, which is book 5 in the Plated Prisoner series. Like the other episodes for books 1 through 4, we will be talking about spoilers for everything up until this point in the series. So if you've not read it, maybe check out a different episode. We're going to kick things off with a quick summary of the book, and then we'll jump into ratings and all of our questions. So Meg, if you want to hit us with the summary.
All right. So every end is also a beginning. I thought I was going to die and would have if it weren't for Slade. The only way he could save me was to open a rip between worlds. The only way for me to save myself was to go through it. Sometimes fleeing one dangerous place just brings you to another. Anduin, the realm of the Fae. There is magic and beauty here, though around every corner threats lurk. But I'm also a threat too. I'm not a girl in a gilded cage anymore, and no one is going to stop me from finding my way back to Slade. But returning home means facing danger and secrets, so I have to burn bright enough to light my own way, or else I might be swallowed by the dark. Okay, another one again. Did not read the summary. And I don't know, and I'm going to say this, and maybe this is a hot take. Some of these aren't making sense to the rest of the book. And I don't know if it's just me, but like the ending part of like, I have to burn bright enough to light my own way or else I'll be swallowed by the dark. What darkness? Because it was just kind of maybe it was the path of her falling. I don't know. It was weird. I don't really understand how that relates, but
I felt that way when you read the summary for the last book too. I was like, what? Like this, I don't feel like does a good job summarizing what this was about.
Okay.
So I don't know. They're just trying to make it, I guess, enticing. I get though, like they probably don't want to like reveal too much in the summary in case someone accidentally picks that book up and then it spoils something. I don't know.
Right. And also with how much goes on, especially because of how the different groups there were this time, you would get everything spoiled. So I don't know. Yeah, could be. Who knows? But that was just a completely side note there. So I guess taking us into our ratings, what did you rate this book? What did you think?
Honestly, I did not rate this right after I read it. And then I was like, I'll give it a couple days. Like maybe something will come to me. And like nothing really came to me. So I'm going with a 3 for that like middle of the road. This is like a cop-out answer, but it's like I didn't love it. I also didn't dislike it. I'm very neutral about it. And I feel like I didn't really process everything fully. So like I don't even know like how I feel about it in like comparison to other books in the series. So I'm going 3. It's not a great answer though.
No, but I think that's totally valid. I'm kind of same. I did a 3.75, but the only reason why is I love Slade's point of view from this whole book. I just liked him in this era. And we'll get into that later on. But for me, I think he kind of just kept it at that higher rating. But to your point, it took me a couple of days to even come to that. It wasn't in the moment I felt like I needed to rate it. It was kind of just, I need to process what ended up happening at the end, because this is another book where it was a little bit slow paced at the beginning and then everything happened at the end. So it was one of those, okay, buckle in. You're going to see the rest of it happen, the last 100 pages, or maybe not even 100, maybe 50. And good luck.
Yeah, and it's hard because when you finish it, you like that's what's fresh in your mind. You're like, oh, but like I'm trying to zoom out and like think of it as a whole. Like, how did I feel about it? I definitely liked it more than the last one. That I know for sure. I just don't know where it like compares to maybe like a book 2 or a book 3 for me. Also, I feel like I am getting to the point where I'm like, I could see if someone was going to say that the series could be shorter. I could see that argument now because I'm like, there are some things where I'm like, maybe the books didn't need to be as lengthy. Maybe we could have condensed it to a 5-book series instead of a 6-book series. They're not that like when you read it, you're like, oh, this is a filler book, because she does a good job of like weaving in and out of different POVs. But there are some things I'm like, okay, we could have cut this. It's not like super integral. And where I feel like the book or the series is going to end up, it's so far from where we started. I'm like, I never even saw this path when we started the series. So like there maybe were some like twists and turns maybe we could have like cut out of the journey.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%, because it just, I don't know. I was trying to think of, could have the last 2 books been merged together? Could this even be merged with the 6th one? We haven't read it, but I don't know what's going to happen in that one. And I don't know if it's going to be pure chaos the entire time or if it's going to be low points. Because if that's the case and we look back at the whole series, I probably would merge this one with something. There could have been a few, even book 4 could have been merged in. We could have done, you know, smaller snippets of the traveling to new areas and stuff. I don't know. Mm-hmm. I don't think we needed as much. I guess we'll see once we finish the entire series. But for now, I'm with you. I think it could definitely be shorter. I get why people probably ended on book 3 because they kind of felt like the story ended with the fact that Midas has died and that's it. You know what I mean? I don't need any more.
Yeah, it is wild that like the series is based off of like a retelling of like King Midas in a unique way, and he's not even part of the second half of the series, and he's barely mentioned now. It's just like, oh, and it's mainly in connection to Kayla at this point, or Kyla, however we're saying her name. But no, it is a little interesting. Also, I don't think we need to like be in everyone's head and see every movement they're making. We could quickly jump in, or like they don't need to be as lengthy. Like some of the Melina chapters were like 25 minutes. They don't need to be as long. I don't need to see every street she's gone down. We could just get like a quick little check-in of like post destruction or whatever. I think there were ways that it could be shortened for length purposes.
I agree. There was a point where there were a couple back to back that I was getting frustrated that we were still on her chapters, and I understood after reading them. I get why we needed them, but to your point, they shouldn't have been that long. I don't need as much. It still could have had the same impact without all of the extra conversations that she had. I don't know. There were just a few things that definitely would have been fine with it not being there. I don't know.
Yeah. And I know we have a question on it, so I'll just like quickly say, and then we can talk about it longer. But like even the poems at the end.
Yeah.
I'm still having, like, where are those coming from? Or, like, those being told by someone? There's still, like, a lot of loose ends that I feel like we have to clean up, like, tie together in the 6th book. And I'm a little concerned how this is all going to wrap up nicely.
Yeah, I mean, we even had said last time when we were recording that we were hoping, or we were thinking when we might get more of Lou's backstory or info from her point of view. She didn't pop up until Melina was in 6th. And that was it. And then she was flying off back to 4th. Literally only heard from for maybe 2 chapters total, 2 pages total. It wasn't anything. So I don't know if we're ever going to get anything or if that's always just going to be a mystery. And we're just going to, you know, who cares?
And I'm having a hard time seeing like the significance that Rissa and Osric are having to the plot. Obviously they were side characters. Like it's nice to get their thing, but we were getting every single check-in he was going to in her room that the healer was doing, like so much information about how like she was not recovering, where I think like we could have cut some of those. Granted, maybe because that girl healed her, maybe she'll have something of importance come from that, but I don't know. I feel like when we do the 6th book, it'll be easier to talk about because we will have a clearer picture of like where everyone landed and the importance they played. But I don't know. It's starting to feel like in these last 2 books, like we're just getting a lot of content where it's like, I feel like this is a little much, especially for side characters.
Yeah, I'm with you. I had wanted more from the multiple POVs, and we didn't really get as much from that. We did get some Melina, and we can go into the next question, the first question really about her and her, you know, transformation. But I was fine with some of hers, but I thought we were going to get different characters and we didn't. So I'm just kind of, okay, maybe we are going more towards those 3 queens where it's her, Kyla, and Orin, but I'm still trying to decipher all of that reasoning as well. So maybe it'll become clear after 6, but for now I'm still blissfully confused. Unaware.
I hope it becomes clear because that is the last book in the series, but we'll see. But yeah, Melina is we have a question about her, which is our first one. So this is a good little segue. She has a ton of POV chapters in this book. She's like kind of off doing her own thing. She definitely has a pretty significant character transformation over the course of the book. What did you think about the pivotal moments in her redemption arc? Do you believe her remorse, and do you believe that the change of heart she's having in this book is genuine? How are you feeling about where she's going?
I go back and forth. So I think a lot of the moments where she really kind of realized that she's in the wrong. She was the one who did everything. Is really the assassin. I think his name's Dominic, if I'm saying that right. But when he kind of says to her, look, you're the reason why this happened. You wanted power. They used you. Get over it. You're the reason why the Fae are storming into Aurea again. And you have to deal with it. You have to figure it out. And I think a lot of it was when she was stuck inside the prison of that house. I think she kind of had to sit there and realize, yeah, okay, I did actually do this. And then even when they get to the kingdom and no one's listening to her, and I think it finally sinks in of they don't care about me, but I actually care about them. And it's not for me having power. It's just I care about these people at the end of the day. So I think those are huge pivotal points. I liked her arc. I thought it was really good compared to where we absolutely hated her. But I don't know. I still don't like her. You know what I mean? I'm here for it to see where she goes into book 6, but you know, I'm not like jumping off and saying, "Oh, I'm now a Melina fan." I don't know. Maybe that's just me. I don't know how you feel, but that's where I'm at.
So I feel a little differently. I don't love her by any means. I definitely like her character. Some of her POVs were long and then they were back to back. And I was like, okay, this is like a little too much time with her. I don't think she like can hold her own this long. But I did like her POVs because she's doing something completely different than everyone else. And she is really isolated from what's going on. Everyone else is in the know of like Midas is dead. She had no clue Midas was dead until this book. And she was the only person who knew about the bridge. So I feel like she has a more interesting perspective of where she's coming at from things. So I like that. I love her and the assassin together. I feel like that's like a good little mix. It's funny that like we're getting all like these spicy scenes from her throughout the course of the series. It's just that makes me laugh. But like I like that he's pushing her and he's not taking her shit and he's kind of giving her tough love. I like that a lot. And I think that is helping her. And I felt like her things came across as genuine. That might just be the like me being naive and trying to see like the good in everyone, but I felt like she really did have a change of heart. You could see it when she first was in the castle, trapped in the cell, and then he had to break her out. But then again, when she got tricked and she got locked in Oren's golden cage, and that's when she like really like was like, oh my god, I used to like hate her and like you just sit in a cage all day, whatever. And then she's like, now that I'm inside it, like she could understand more of where Oren was coming from. So I liked that. I felt like she was becoming a little bit more empathetic. She was definitely like reflecting on her behavior. And she's probably just one of those people that has to experience something to understand it. I did feel bad though when she was trying to warn everyone and no one wanted to believe her. And I think that was a hard pill she had to swallow of like, these people have such a set view on you that they can't even believe that you would be doing this to be helping them because they see you like this one way. And I think that was a big wake up call for her when she was like, no, I'm trying to help you. And like, they were like, you did nothing to help us. Like, why would you do it now? And like having to kind of swallow that.
I agree. Those are great points. I mean, just the fact that she said, okay, well, I might as well just make this, brick wall out of ice to hopefully slow down the Fae. And it took her all night. She puts her basically entire energy into it. It was going to pretty much pass out and be done. But, and I think she did pass out a few times, but it's one of those, like, I think she at that point, she had a couple flashbacks with her dad of the kingdom comes first. You are serving the kingdom. It's not you. And I think she forgot that over time because I think she expected everyone just to be, oh, you're the queen and you are the best thing ever and we will bow down and whatever. So I think that kind of humbled her a bit too of, yep, okay, I'm going to do it anyways. I'm going to try and save them because I need to. So
I did feel bad when they cut her wall down very quickly. She took her all day and they got through it like minutes.
I know.
But she did give those people a few extra minutes and she was fully prepared to die there with everyone else. She wasn't planning to escape anyway. Like she did not think she was going to see that through and she was okay with that. Where Kyla just flew off and just ditched everyone, showing her true colors. And I have to say the sweetest moment was when the assassin gets her out and she's like, no, I want to go to like that area in the trees and see like hopefully someone made it there. And then when she got there and they were like, oh my God, our queen. And they were so excited to see her. And I think that was a good full circle moment for her.
I agree. And I think too, they all witnessed Kyla just leaving. It wasn't as if it was just a small subset. It was everyone there because they were all trying to knock down the bricks and laughing at her. And yeah, exactly. So the fact that they saw her rush away because she knew the Fae were coming and realized, okay, no, she actually did come back for our kingdom and she does care about us, that Melina is here for us in the future. So yeah, it was definitely good. I liked it. I think it also separated her even more from Midas because they did see them as a pair of, well, Midas didn't do anything, but you didn't either. So why should we like you? So I think it really gave her something to stand on going forward. So I'm excited to see how it goes with her, though. As much as she's not my favorite, I'm really intrigued on where she's going. I don't know. And I mean, we can get there down the line because I know we're going to talk about what we think is going to happen in the 6th book. But hers, I'm intrigued about. I don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. The Fae are, I do think they're marching.
So. Yeah. This might be a hot take, but I do think she has one of the better character arcs out of all the characters because she's really come full circle and it feels the most realistic, like of someone who is very set in their ways, like kind of a little cocky, a little entitled, and then humbled, and they kind of like go back to their roots. I'm enjoying it, and yeah, I feel like she has depth to her.
Yeah, there's a lot more than it just being a 2-page thing. We hate her, that's it, move on. And then she's kind of useless for the rest of the series. So I do like that. It definitely is really good. Yeah, it's well done because it's taken 5 books for us to get here. Yeah. So I really like that. So it was over the span of everything. Kind of, she changed in each book. So I like that. That was very good.
Yeah. Now another character who is going on an arc is Slade. And he's in his revenge era. And he's taken everyone down. And he's also extremely desperate to find a way to get back to Orin during this whole book. So how did you feel like his villain era contrasted with his more deeper protective side of his character? And did you feel like his actions throughout the book were justified?
Okay. I love his villain era, so I probably should just preface with that I'm all for this. And maybe this is becoming, whatever I say is from that specific reasoning. I think it's a little bit okay for his character because he's protective of his people, Orin being number 1 on that list. Literally does not care about anyone else. We find out later on that they are a bonded pair, and I think a lot of it has to do with that Fae bonded pair situation. So of course he's going to be protective in the fact he literally can't get to her right now. What's the thing he can do? Take revenge on every single person that wronged her. He's going to do it. He literally is dying because she is too far away and he can't be with her. So I think it's justified. We hated the queen from Second Kingdom, did not like her. Was interesting that
glad to see her go.
Oh my God, when he literally just said, okay, you're gonna sit on the thrones at the conflux and I'm gonna destroy this. And I do have to say, his protective side, but also his thoughtful side, he thought of Orin. He did not kill any innocents. It was only people who specifically were wronging Orin or were really bad. So, he killed all of the flesh traders and everything. He kind of just went crazy. He released all the animals.
He's
from
saving the
fighting.
Animals.
He's doing everything out there. And I think in any degree, this is where the Fae side comes out, and we didn't get a lot of that. We only got a few instances of his Fae nature coming out, so I was all for it. I don't know. He's burning the world down for her, and that's okay, and that's kind of what we're looking for in a main male character. But yeah, overall, just loved it. I don't know. So I don't know if you have anything different.
No, ditto. I completely agree with everything you said. I felt like it was coming from his protective side. I didn't feel like it was like a different thing. It was in response to trying to protect her. And because she wasn't physically with him, this is the only thing I think he could think to try and get some justice for her. So I viewed it as that. I felt like the actions were justified. The only thing is I was like, okay, at some point, I'm glad someone did kind of put him in check. So I was like, at some point, you are going to run out of land and people to rule, because you are like threatening. He's like tearing down all the castles. He's like threatening to rot their kingdoms. So I was like, we have to like rein it in a little bit. But I feel like the people who were victims of the revenge era were more than deserving of it. And Manu, his was great. When
So
Osric
good.
got him, and then he was like, whatever happens to Rissa happens to you. I was like, I love this. Justified. The Queen of Second, justified. And I like that he tried to like do it in the same manner that Oren was impacted. And what else is he supposed to do? He can't get to her. She's in a different world. I don't blame him. He was just, getting revenge for his girl.
Yeah. Loved it. I think I had said this in the beginning, but I think that's why I rated the book higher, because I just loved how much he said, I don't care. I am going back at all of you. You infuriated me with how you treated Oren and just believed one of the queen's lies and how she can manipulate words. I loved how he wasn't able to necessarily go after Kyla, but use the brother. That was...
Oh, it was perfect.
It was so good. And she took so long. How did she not get that information earlier? Because it felt like it wasn't as long span. Maybe 2 weeks? I don't know.
She was too busy. He probably didn't know what kingdom she was in to send the bird to.
True.
The messenger bird.
Yeah.
It was good. I liked it. I thought it was enjoyable. And I was really nervous about them being separated. I thought he had enough going on that it was fine. Like, we knew it was enough to keep me entertained, which, as we've mentioned, Oren is stuck in the Fae world. So she's over in Anwin for the entire book. Like, they are separated the entire book. They do not reconnect. But when she's over there, of course, we're now introduced to a whole bunch of new characters, a whole bunch of new backstory, world building, all of that. So one of the characters she comes across is Wick, and then we have the Volman Dyrunia, I think is how you say it. Yeah. So what role did you feel like they played in like her journey over there, and then how does her involvement with that resistance kind of test her loyalties?
Yeah, I mean, her first goal as soon as she literally landed was need to get back to Slade. Happy to be back in Anwin because, this is where I'm from, but I also really don't care. It was really funny. And then, she meets a couple great people that take her in. That whole entire town pretty much just worships her family. I was super suspicious about Wick at the beginning, and I didn't know why I was. Do you know what I mean? It was one of those, I didn't know what to believe. I didn't understand what he was going for, except for obviously going after the crown and taking them down, not trying to take the crown, but did not realize it was going to be because he was a relative to her. That was a shock. Kind of like how his gold element wasn't physical, because they had mentioned that every single person in the family always had a gold element. So that was interesting. I liked it. I don't know about you, if that was something, I don't know if you suspected him earlier, but.
I don't think I'd say I was suspicious, but I was intrigued by him, I think is more how I was feeling. I didn't know if he was good, bad, like if he was going to betray them. I didn't know where he was going to play out, but I liked that he felt like he was going to be a very important character right off the get when she meets him. And I was excited when she decided to go with him. So I was like, okay, we're now going on a journey. Where's this going to be? I did not think he was going to be related to her either, because it made it sound like she was the last tie. So I'm curious, like, are there other people in this kind of resistance that maybe are part of the family and are laying low? Because now we know that it doesn't have to be a visible gold feature that they have or element. I am leaning towards maybe he's a cousin, because I feel like she's had a lot of flashbacks and she pictures her parents, but she's never pictured a sibling. And I feel like that would be a weird twist to just like throw a sibling in now, but who knows with this book. So I'm leaning towards cousin. But I don't know, her journey over there was like kind of pissing me off a little bit. I liked it. I loved all the people we met. I liked learning about her backstory. I think it was really cool that like we were kind of on the right path, thinking that she was something of importance if her family felt the need to get rid of her, put her somewhere safe. It was cool to hear what she actually was, and she's this descendant of this person who fell off the bridge, all that. But I was like, girl, they're literally telling you, hey, we are treated terribly here because of this new king that you could easily try and overthrow because you're the rightful ruler. And she's like, I'm really sorry, but I just need to go to the field and see if there's a hole in the earth, and like I just need to get back. Like, thank you, but I don't really care. And that was, I get it for the beginning, but it felt like it went on a little long. And then she's like, oh, I'm gonna join the resistance. Like, I actually don't really care about any of this. Like, I'm not here to do anything. I'm just like killing time till I can find Slade. And I was like, okay, that I was not loving about her character. I think towards the end she was having a change, but who knows now with how it ended and her memories being gone. I don't know, but that was the only thing that like kind of bothered me in this part.
Yeah, I will say, is it Nanette was her name with how she passed away? That I think is the only thing that triggered in her mind that this is kind of similar. Another king who just wants to overrule and put people down and doesn't want people to, thrive and flourish. And so I think that kind of resonated with her. But yeah, to your point, it did last a little bit long, and I could not stop laughing every single time. She's like, thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. I'm just trying to find my soulmate out there. I don't really care about you guys. It did give that vibe for way too long. But I will say we were on the right path of trying to figure out where all of Deadwell went and how they miraculously ended up exactly where they were going to be, back where they came from. It literally kind of just looked as if the rip brought them back to the original spot.
Yeah. I was getting so annoyed with her reading because I was like, haven't you put this together yet? But I forgot. She doesn't know.
No.
But they all disappeared because it was she went and then they found it. So I was like, okay, that was just me as the reader knowing more information than her and getting annoyed. But yeah, that was interesting. They were all back there.
Yeah. Yeah. And
his dad seems just as bad.
Yeah, I think even worse because now people are back that he really wants to torture. That really, I don't know, he's kind of just there. What was I'm blanking on the girl's name. What was the girl who could glamour? Was her name Emery or
yeah,
Emery? I know there's not necessarily any conversation we have on her specifically, but I had to know. I think you had said you were super suspicious on her, and I
suspicious.
I really I still am in a way. I mean, I think she's probably loyal to the cause, but I want to know what's going on because I don't know if she was helping out the crown a little bit as well and giving them some information. We know that the fairy is the one that betrayed them, but I don't know. It seems like there could be some people who might be working both sides a little bit. So I'm curious if she will be or if maybe she is true into the cause. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's my thing on her. I'm always suspicious of someone who immediately just starts acting like someone's best friend. And that's what she did. And I was like, this is weird. All of a sudden you're sharing your rations. You're showing her the best bathhouse. Like no one else. And they all are obsessed with her. No one else was going out of their way to do this. So what is your motive here? Like, I'm sorry, something, you're looking for something. Then when she said her power was glamour, I was like, okay, well, are you in glamour right now? Because we know she did change her eyes at one point. So like, is your whole body a glamour and you're undercover pretending to be someone else and you're really, I don't know. Like, I'm just still suspicious. I think where it ends at the end of the book, you're probably not supposed to be suspicious of her, but she's still, I don't know. I got my eye on her. The whole thing with her sister was a weird conversation where she didn't really talk. And this hit me. I mean, I finished the book, over a week ago. This literally hit me the other day. What if Lou is her sister?
Stop it.
I was just thinking about that because we have not gotten Lou's backstory. We don't know where she's from. And then she keeps Emery's perspective. She seems to be like not supportive of whatever choice her sister made. And it sounds like she hasn't seen her sister, or her sister is somewhere where she can't get to her or doesn't want to go. And it would make sense if they were in two different worlds. I have no clue. I'm just like, I'm trying to find a backstory for Lou.
I have no notes. We had talked about Lou being something more than just a random person who has a little bit of power. That wouldn't shock me. I have to tell you,
this just like, again, I was not thinking about this book, and I was reading a different book, and it like just, the thought just like kind of like floated, and I was like, that'd be cool. Like, I would like that. That'd be a good connection, and then maybe then that would give her some credit maybe, and I wouldn't feel so weird about her.
Yeah.
I don't know. Her sister is a weird subject, and we did not get a name. We did not get a detail. It was just like, we don't talk about the sister. And to me, again, from a writing perspective, like, why wouldn't you have given anything if you don't want us to know about a twist?
Agreed. Yeah, because
probably even square peg round holing this, but
I don't know. I'm now stuck on it of thinking of everything else that we know and clues of what it could be. I would be fine with that twist happening. I mean, I know we have an idea of it, but I like it. I think that'd be really good.
I think it'd be cool. I will say, though, my initial one was exactly what you said, like thinking the sister maybe worked for the crown or something like that. And they were on opposite sides of the war.
The war. Yeah, like they didn't.
Which I think would make more sense. But the Lou one would be fun.
That would be good. But also, we still don't know how Oren was sent to Oria. So could Lou have also been sent in a similar way? If you really think about it, because she was also found younger.
So I think this is how I interpreted the ending, is that she was sent through one of those fairy rings.
Okay, so did they,
because
think they killed her?
In Oria, they said that there was a bunch of fairy rings.
Okay, so I'm trying to figure out then, did her mother make a deal to have someone send them out?
I don't think she was supposed to go through the ring. Okay. I'm thinking her parents maybe were going to send her somewhere else in like the Fae world to be hidden. And then she got snatched by this fairy who then took her through a ring and was like, oh, I'll drop you over here in a completely different world because I know that the bridge is going to be shut down and you won't be able to get back.
True.
Or maybe the parents were working with this fairy. Like, can you bring her to, again, I still think somewhere in the Fae world. And then they just didn't realize that the fairy ring she went through was going to the other world. I don't think she was supposed to end up in the human world.
Okay.
From her parents' perspective.
I think that's totally fair because she did mention that the smell specific was something in her memory.
She knew the smell of the guy.
Yeah. So to your point, it could be that they ended up sending her there after they stole all the kids away. 'Cause she kind of hints at the fact that the kids were being herded away to a safe space, but then were taken. So they could have all been sent through a portal.
Yeah.
Because we, again, don't know, I guess, from her time at that moment in Oria. We know about her history, about having to deal with living on the streets, but we don't get I was falling in the middle here. Right. Yeah. So I wonder if we get that.
Some of the kids who could have been working with her on the streets could have been some of the kids from the Fae world. Right. I mean, we know that there are definitely young Fae that are still over here because of the young healer. And that's a Fae ability. So
yeah, powerful one in that too. I mean, yeah, that was interesting that she just all of a sudden popped in at the end, and I think she's gonna be way more useful in the 6th book. They can't just have her come in to save Rissa. I'm sorry, but there has to be another
perfect timing. Yeah. Speaking about Oren, though, and Anwin, so as I mentioned, not just a major part of the book, the entire book is Oren and Slade separated. You keep thinking that they're going to, like, maybe reconnect. They don't. I will say I did know that before going into the book because I can't believe you read a review. So I knew that, and I was pissed. I did not want to read the book because of that. So I knew I wasn't prepared for them to reconnect, which I think actually helped me while reading it because I wasn't waiting. So I would be so curious to know from your perspective, like, were you getting frustrated? Like, why have you guys not found your way to each other? So that's my first question. But then second question is, like, how did you feel overall about the dual perspectives? And did you feel like one storyline was more interesting than the other? What were your thoughts on this whole structure?
Yeah, so obviously I didn't know that they were going to be split the entire book. I will say I got to the point where Oren started traveling with Wick. I knew they weren't getting together in this book. It felt too, oh, we're back together and that's it. It felt like there was going to be some big thing. And as we started realizing when they mentioned, that the Orions were all of a sudden back in Cull's house. I think that's his last name, right? Cull? Because Slade ended up taking his mother's name or something. Yeah. So when we find out all of that, I knew that she wasn't going to make it back to Slade. Did I think it was going to be literally book 6 that they were going to get together? No, not necessarily. I didn't know if it was going to be at the last page that all of a sudden they just appeared through the thing, especially when the bond solidified, or I don't even know how to explain that, when they both acknowledge that they're a bonded pair. What the hell was that?
No clue.
Okay.
I have no clue.
I'm so glad I'm not the only one, because I was kind of really confused there. I didn't know if that was going to be a way that they could call to each other, so I was trying to see if that would happen, but didn't hate it. I'll say, short version, didn't hate it, kind of liked it. I preferred Slade's. I liked that Oren got the Anwin side and got that info with Wick and all of the, the rebels and everything and all of them. But I don't know, I kind of liked his side more. I liked his badass villain. Yeah. What about you?
So of course, like I said, I knew it was going to happen. So I think that was honestly better. One, I went in with really low expectations, and so they were exceeded, which was good. I felt like they both had pretty strong storylines on their own. As I mentioned earlier in the episode, I felt like both kept me entertained and wanting to know where they were going. It didn't feel like either of them were sitting around moping, just like, I wish we could be together, and then doing mundane things. Like, yes, they would say that, but they were also doing other things to try and advance the story. I think I liked Oren's a little bit more. I basically liked them the same, but I liked hers a little bit more just because we were getting a new area, new world building, and some new backstory and new side characters. So it was just because that was new. Slade, it was like, okay, yeah, we're just dealing with the fallout of everything that happened in the last book. So I kind of knew where that side of the story was probably going to go. Hers was a little bit more of a twist, or like, where are we going? What's happening? So that's kind of why I liked hers more.
Yeah, I do agree with you that they were both really, really good and pretty much tied from my perspective. It was just that one itched out a little bit more than the other.
It was definitely a choice, though, to have them separated the entire book.
And I just need to figure out what's going on, I guess, in 6.
I still have no clue how they're getting to each other.
I don't know. I mean, they now know that there is a way.
Available.
Yeah, so I'm guessing.
She doesn't know, though, because her memories are wiped. So
yeah, exactly.
Okay, so over in Oren's storyline, we get the introduction of the Stone King, Tyek Carrick, and then we also have the actions of Queen Kayla in Slade's perspective. What are your predictions for their roles in the final conflict of the series? Because those seem to be like the villains of each of the areas.
Yeah, so at first I was thinking, we're going to have Carrick and Anwin, we're going to fight, but I actually think he'll end up in Oria. I think Slade's time in Anwin, when he makes it there, will be for his father. I did think that they might be together when they start fighting, so Slade's father and the king will be in Oria, but after I'm thinking about this whole conversation now, I do think his father is going to be the first one to go, and then he's going to make his way back to help save the kingdoms, because he promised his brother that he would try and give them a fighting chance. So I think he'll bring Faye with him in a weird way, as in their own mini army to help out the humans. So I think that'll be interesting. And then from Kyla's side, I don't think she's going to help anyone. I don't think she's going to help. I think she'll end up being rotted out from the core because she's not going to help, and Slade will just take over Third Kingdom or something. You know what I mean? I really don't see many people going to help save except first and fourth.
I completely agree about her. I think she's going to run and hide. It's going to bite her in the ass. And whether I was thinking maybe either Riot or honestly just the Fae that are marching through are going to take her out. She's not going to join in. I mean, it was very clear she's not joining in the fight. She fled as soon as she could. And I think she's going to get wiped out. I do think next would be Slade's dad. He's going to get taken out. I agree. It's probably going to be a showdown between him and Slade. Maybe Oren will jump in. I don't know. I would love if the mom like had her moment and got to get her revenge. That would be really great. But I don't know kind of where she's at. I know she was like being tortured. So we'll have to see about that. I definitely think the final battle will be with King Karek. And I didn't really think of the location, but I think after hearing you, I think you're right. It'll be in Oria. He'll be coming to join the rest of the Fae. And then I think Slade and Oren will have to bring with them to Oria all the resistance to help them kind of take down.
Yeah.
And then we'll be, like their whole like little group that I can't really pronounce the name. And then Slade and Oren will rule this like new world where there's the two things. Maybe Slade will be officially the leader of Oria, and maybe then Oren will be leader of Anwin. And then because they're together, there'll be harmony. That's what I think.
I think so too. And I think as long as certain kings and queens in Oria are okay, I think Slade will allow them to manage areas while he is able to oversee everything and can enjoy time in Anwin as well. Because let's be real, he's going to want to be where Oren is. But I do think because of Riot, he's going to still want to protect Oria as a whole. Because his brother is not Fae. So I know that's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah. His brother will probably stay here, I think.
Yeah. I have to pivot real quick for a second. It sounded like Slade's parents were also a bonded pair. Did you catch that line, or did I read that wrong?
I did not catch that.
Okay. I thought that he was saying to Oren, oh, isn't it interesting that our son also is a bonded pair? When did you find out that you were bonded with him or whatever? And she thinks about the fact that she could see his aura, and I guess that means that you're a bonded pair. You can't see anyone. So I don't know if I'm reading into that, and I might need to read it again. But I thought that he was saying that him and the mother were also a bonded pair.
If they are, they treat each other terribly.
Terribly. So I don't know. I could be totally misread that.
I did not catch that. I mean, I caught him asking her, like, when did you realize it? But I did not connect the dots that maybe he was referring to he was also part of one.
Yeah, I could be way off, like I said. So I'll check back later.
We'll fact
see.
check it. Okay, we have to talk about the ending, though. So what were your immediate thoughts on those final revelations, that cliffhanger ending? Because as we've alluded to, Oren's memories are in the process of being wiped as the book is ending. What were your thoughts?
Was that the Stone King's ability, or was that someone else? Because I thought it was someone else. I didn't think the Stone King could do it because I thought he made things stone.
I'm under the same impression as you.
Okay.
I read it as like he was talking to someone and having that person do it. Who? I don't know. That's when initially I thought maybe this was Anne-Marie's sister.
Agreed.
Which would throw my Lou theory out the door. But like that's where my mind went to at first.
Yeah. Agreed. That's what I was thinking. So it was interesting. Didn't expect that was going to happen. That was how we were ending it. That she was going to start losing her memories. I think because now that they've both acknowledged the bonded pair vibes between the two of them. I think Slade is going to be able to kind of direct her back and help her through still keeping those memories, because there were times where they felt each other in a weird way. Of Slade could tell that she was using the power. There's going to have to be something there that because they're connected is going to be a way to help her out. And I don't know if I'm reaching here on that ability, but I feel like that's the only way she's going to be able to keep her memories intact, is him helping her through this bonded something, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe he would have to like send her memories back to her of all the pieces that he kind of has. And that would make sense of why we needed to see him go through that revenge journey, because he did go after people from her past that he knew about too, so he could fill her in on those gaps. I mean, the bond up here, I'm interested to see like how it works in this world and in this series. Personally, while I do love mates and the bonded pair trope, it is a very overused trope in a fantasy book, where it's the point where when you're reading a series, you're just waiting for it to be revealed.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't love when it is used now as this big bombshell moment, because I mean, we literally, I think if you go to the episode 2 or book 2 episode, I think you had said like, I'm pretty sure they're going to be mates. Like, it's kind of obvious. So that in itself, the reveal, I didn't feel like, okay, this isn't like a huge like bombshell. Like, yeah, I saw it coming. If you read fantasy books, you would see this coming. Interested to see how it will work, because they kind of also alluded to like anytime she was using his magic, it was draining him and killing him. So are they like on a shared life source now? I have no clue.
I have no idea what's going to happen there. So I'm intrigued to see what happens with their connection and how that's going to impact in this story, because other ones, it's kind of, they can sense each other. They can talk to each other through their minds.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how this one's going to be different. Make it different for me, because if it's the same thing, then it's not going to be worth it, in my opinion. Because to your point, it's an overused trope. So
yeah, definitely needs to be differentiated from others. And immediately after reading the mind wiping thing, I was like, okay, Onyx Storm, thanks. PTSD.
Yeah, I know. We don't need that.
But it'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, they're going to wipe her mind. And then, I mean, if she goes right back with the people she was with, they're just going to tell her backstory anyways. So is she going to get captured and then they're going to try and tell her a completely different narrative? I don't know.
Also, are their memories getting wiped too? Because
I
we
have
only
no clue.
hear someone say, "What have you done?" or "What are you doing to her?"
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what's going on with the rest of them.
That's why I thought maybe it could be Emery's sister, because maybe it's her shouting, like, "What are you doing?" Then also, different thing, because I'm so suspicious of her, I was like, I still think it's her shouting. I don't think we get confirmation who is shouting, but I was like, oh my God, maybe it's her shouting, and this is now me being validated that she is a traitor, and they wanted her to kind of guide the group to this area so they could capture her, but they didn't fill her in on the full plan of what they were going to do, and that's why she's like, why? What are you doing now? Like, you know.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I'm leaning.
Yeah, I'm really hoping we get more. I'm really hoping that there's something there that we get closure on what's going on with her, because with being a newer character, we didn't have multiple books to get that detail from. It was very much, what do you say, half of this book? Because Melina and Slate took up the other half. You know what I mean? Yeah. Melina's took up, it was pretty much in thirds, I would say. It was probably split that way. So, I mean, I'm really hoping. There seems like a lot of loose ends that need to get explained in the 6th one.
Yeah. Which is a great transition into our final question. Obviously, the next book, book 6, is the final book in the series. What are your biggest hopes and your biggest fears for what could be happening? Which reunion or confrontation are you most looking forward to? What are you thinking is happening in 6? What are you excited for? What are you not looking forward to?
Yeah, so obviously excited for Slade and Oren to finally be back together, because one book was enough, in my opinion, of them being separated. I think if we get them together you know, reasonably early, that'd be good. I don't want it to be where it's half of book 6 and then it's just what a final battle that they're together. I don't want that. So that would be a little bit upsetting if that's the case. I do think someone from the main group is going to die. Do you? Or is it just, I don't know. I thought maybe Digby.
I think it has to. Yeah.
Not
She's not
everyone.
doing much, honestly.
Yeah. And then also, Rissa literally just got healed. You're going to tell me that her Osric are going to die now? We just dealt with how many times he was professing his love for her while she's dying. You can't, if one of them dies again, I think that's just a wasted amount of chapters that we got.
I'll be so pissed.
Do you know what I mean?
I will be so pissed.
Don't give me that if you're going to kill them off, you know? So I don't see them dying. Maybe Lou dies.
Digby's a good one. Maybe he dies protecting Oren.
Yeah, that's what I think, because his whole thing is he needs to get back to her to protect her pretty much. Yeah, I don't know. I also think that Slade's mother is going to probably die. I don't see her lasting long, but I do think, to your point, she has to have something up her sleeve that's going to be a final sayonara from her.
What if, sorry, this just hit me now. Remember we were saying the poems at the end and we're like, who's telling these poems? What if they're from her? Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh.
And that's her contribution.
Could be. Because that would all be future things that she could have seen. That could be good.
That would be a good tie-in. Because she really hasn't contributed much. And like we did not get much more about her backstory.
I feel bad, but it's like, I don't know. I get the significance
what are you bringing
of
to
her.
the table? If I'm reading about you, what are you bringing to the table?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was kind of big things. What do you think is going to happen?
Like I said, final battle against King Kark. Like he's the final boss they have to take down. My biggest hope is the Slade Oren reunion happens early-ish in book 6, like at least in the first 50%. I really don't want to have to wait until the second half of the book because then I feel like we'll be very rushed. I'm hoping for a lot more action. And then my initial thought was kind of like, because of those poems, like are Kyla, Melina, and Oren gonna have to team up almost to like tag team taking them down? But then I'm just thinking that through more, and Kyla, honestly, she's going to run away, so maybe she's gonna sacrifice herself in that theory, and then the other two are gonna step up. I don't know.
It would be interesting if Melina and Oren pair up, because of how much hatred Melina had for Oren the entire time. Oren didn't have as much hatred for Melina. I mean, I don't think she liked her, but I think she understood that, okay, here's this person who unfortunately, you know, might have said married, can't have kids. Of course, she's going to hate me because I'm the preferred and chosen one type thing, but it would be nice if they pair up and actually do something. But I had thought that was going to be something about, you know, maybe a fighting with Kyla because of the Three Queens poem. Like, to your point about, I don't know what the reasoning of it was. I thought it was the three of them. Their destinies are kind of intertwined, that they have to go together. I don't know. Maybe I'm just overanalyzing.
I mean, they have to all play into some role. And I mean, Melina, I think, has fulfilled her part of reopening the bridge. I don't know what Kyla's is going to be. Oren is definitely going to step up on the Fae side, so I don't really know.
Unless Kyla is going to prove us wrong, and she's going to step up a lot because of the fact that she doesn't want her brother to be killed. Because I mean, their relationship in terms of
they're a bonded pair. They're weird.
Sorry, that just grossed me out. Yeah.
They got a weird thing going.
Yeah. Like, I get sibling love, but I don't know. Yeah.
They're next level. I guess that's really all I thought about outside of things we've already mentioned for book 6.
I just want to know
I could do
everything.
without. Mist, did we get any closure on her and her baby?
Did she just die? Because, I mean, they attacked the entire area of Sixth Kingdom.
Yeah, like, is she dead? I have no clue.
I feel like she has
Literally
to be.
no clue.
I don't know. if she's still alive somehow,
add it to the list.
Would they leave? Like, did they just leave the people in the castle alive? Do you know what I mean? That would be.
I have no clue where she is.
I don't get it.
It's just like this thing that's like hanging over.
Yeah. Tie loose ends from Midas's, offspring, please.
Yeah.
Not that I'm looking to kill her off and the baby off. I don't mean that, but it's just can we get some information on where this woman is?
Yeah, give us some closure. It was such a big like plot point.
Yeah. To just be brushed off of, oh wait, I'm back again.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But
I don't know.
That's all I have.
Yeah, same. No notes. All right. So our next episode, we're just going to be finishing the series and covering Goldfinch, which is the final one in the series. So that'll be really nice to get the overall view of what's going on. Stay tuned for that and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Booktroverts Pod. And same with Fable. Join our book club and read along with us. And see you next time. Bye.
Bye.